Welcome to Just Wing It with Blake and Jamie. How is everyone today? And welcome, Ken. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you as always. Hi, Paprika. How are you? I'm exhausted today. Thank you, though. But it's Wednesday. 2 more days. I am tired. Sorry about that. Oh, it's all right, Paprika. So, what did everyone eat for dinner? I had leftover lunch. They always have this, like, it's called Fooda app, FOODA, and it's where like a bunch of different local restaurants come and they like have um set up and they like do like an indoor food truck type thing, but it's indoors. Uh yeah, I don't know why, Paprika. It took over 24 hours to upload. I was like, are you kidding me? It never uploaded. Ooh, the Mexican lasagna, Ken. It sounds good. So anyway, my food, it was like this bowl with rice, black beans. I think it had cheese and like no, beef in it, and then corn and lettuce. So what, I don't know what it was actually called. They have like these. So I ate the rest of that. Yeah, I don't know why it took like over 24 hours to upload. But lately it's been difficult uploading. I don't know why. And here is Blake. Blake, how are you?
Hello, how are you? Look
I'm
at you,
good.
sporting the hat.
Yes, I am.
All of the animals out of this room. Let's go. Come on.
uh,
All
so
right.
how was your day?
It was amazing. How was yours?
Much better today, thank you.
Good.
Paprika, it doesn't take much to confuse me either.
Oh man, today, yesterday, pretty easy days for me. Finally got a chance to mellow out through the busy summer days. So
What do you mean you don't want to leave, Ken? Oh, the animals. All the
oh
animals.
yeah, they don't.
Are you saying you're an animal? You must leave, Ken.
He's a dog.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's so funny. So, what did you eat today?
Haven't eaten yet. Don't know what we're gonna have, but um, Natalie is out buying stuff for her bachelorette party right now.
Oh.
Yeah, man. So I was like, oh no, you go ahead and do that.
Um,
I'll eat later.
Hi, Francesca. Thanks for coming in. Oh, that's exciting.
hmm
And
She's
when is
been she's
when
been
is
really happy.
isn't it in September?
hmm
That's what I thought. I couldn't remember.
3 more months. Did you get your invitation? Should have got it in the mail, right?
I haven't been home. Ken, have we gotten it?
Because didn't I ask you for your address?
I think so. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm pretty sure I did.
Well, I'll have to make sure I come.
You'll have to. Everybody doesn't know who I podcast with. uh,
um, oh, sounds like your fiance's have, yep. Alice in Chains. I can't, really can. Oh my,
I
him and his songs. Oh my goodness.
don't blame him. I'm the same way.
Yeah,
If you even say something that remotely reminds me of a song, I'll just start singing it.
that's what Ken does, and it's so annoying.
Natalie hates it too. We got into
uh,
a big fight over it the other day because like I was just singing the TikToks that were going through her, or I was singing her TikToks as like because I knew the songs and it pissed her off.
IDD, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. So today, oh my gosh, I have to tell you this story. So I am a little claustrophobic, but I'm not as bad as my mom. I will go in elevators. My mom will not go in elevators. So I'm in.
Why not? Like she won't ride him at all, period.
No, she will take the stairs. She is like a child when it comes to like anything with claustrophobia, and she will not get into an elevator. And sometimes she can get embarrassing. But
Yeah.
so
Just imagine if she got into like a box or something.
oh
What if your
no,
mom went to jail? Oh man.
no,
And like she had a cellmate and they were in there.
no, she would not do well. So it's a good thing she's not a criminal. Um, but so today I get to the hotel and I'm on the phone with my friend Kristen, and I get stuck in the elevator. And I'm like, oh no, the elevator's not moving. It's stuck. And she's like, calm down, Jamie, calm down. And so I'm like trying to press the button to like call somebody. And then finally they answer. And it took them about 10, maybe 15 minutes. It felt like longer. It felt like hours, but it was probably only 10, 15 minutes. And they finally got me out of the elevator. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
How did
And
they
so
get you out? Did they just like pull the cord up or down or what?
I don't know if they just pushed the button and it like finally moved to go down, and so then I went back to the first floor and I'm like, can you please show me where the stairs are? I'm not getting back on this elevator. I'll climb the 4 flights of stairs.
4 flights. That's rough. Goodness gracious.
And I am out of shape. I'm an old lady, like I'm not young like you. And I'm
Oh,
like
you're not that old.
I'm like, I was huffing and puffing, and I'm like, man, I need to take the stairs more often now. But oh my gosh, I was, I
Scared
was,
none the least.
yeah, I like if that was my mom, oh my gosh, she would have like spazzed out like big time, but she wouldn't have gotten on the elevator. But yeah, I could just imagine what she would have done.
Your mom would have freaked out, huh?
Yeah. They were probably contacting you about your extended warranty. You're such a brat.
Hey, we're trying to call you about your car's extended warranty.
Well, they need to, they need to check their elevator maintenance or whatever. Well, and the guy said something about like if like kids will get on the elevator and like stomp or whatever, and it'll move all 3 elevators, or I don't know. He said something, and it didn't make sense to me. But I'm like, yeah, I'm not getting back on those elevators. I'm taking the stairs. And after the day I've had, I was like, oh my gosh. This week's been crazy. Let's just say that.
Well, it's been a pretty easy week for me. I've been happy, but I've never experienced getting stuck in an elevator before. That would scare the hell out of me.
It did me. I was talking about you earlier. My dad, he has to go. he went to his cardiologist and he yeah, better safe than sorry, right, Francesca? Bless you. And
Thank you.
my dad went to his cardiologist appointment and they saw like some
Excuse me.
scar. Oh, bless you. They saw some scarring on his heart, and so they don't know if he's had an old heart attack. And he's had stents placed before, so they want to do an angiogram, and they're going to schedule it in a week. Which don't ask me why they are waiting. Why don't they just get it over with and do it?
Uh,
And he has he builds houses for a living. Like, well, he doesn't build it, but he's a contractor, and
yeah.
he has them built. And he's in Granbury. He's the one that's in Granbury, Texas. And and so the cardiologist was asking like if he's out in the heat, if he mows the lawn or whatever, and he's like, yeah, I mow my lawn, I mow my daughter's lawn and my son's lawn and all the houses lawns. And he's like, well, don't be doing that right now. And I go, too bad you're not close to my co-host, because that's what he does. He owns his own landscaping business.
Oh hell, I'm so busy I couldn't take anybody else's work anyway. Oh goodness, I would be scared to do that. Ugh.
Yeah,
And now,
this is your busy season.
yeah,
But
that's bad right now.
yeah, he needs a writer. Yes, he does. But he always has a push more because he wants, the exercise. But yeah, if he's gonna be like,
That's
no,
worse, sir.
yeah, he's 69 years old. He's an old man now. He needs to get a writer in there.
Just chill, get a rider, man. Retire. I
Yeah.
can't wait for those days when I can be an old man and I can just tell everybody how much they suck and
Right?
nobody can do anything because you're the bad guy if you hit the old man.
Exactly, right?
That's exactly the type of old man I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be a grumpy old humbug. And what are you gonna do about it? Nothing.
Well, and I'm a little sad right now because so I got invited by some YouTubers they're going on this trip in to Bali. And so I booked the flights, and my friend is going from San Antonio. And so I booked the flights and everything, and I paid for the resort. And but my flights go through Qatar, and American Airlines suspended all of the flights to Qatar. And to reroute, I don't know if I would be able to do that. And so I may not get to go on my trip now to Bali because of all the bombings over there.
I and pretty soon all of that's gonna dissipate. Nobody wants another war. They really don't.
I hope so, because I've never been out of the country. I haven't had a real vacation in a very long time. And I'm supposed to go with my friend, and we've been so excited about it. So
America's war machine is insane.
yeah.
We could do some seriously terrible things. Ugh.
Yeah, grumpy old men and old people are the best. Cantankerous old farts. Yep.
Yep,
But
that's me.
that's gonna be Blake when he gets older, right?
You're right.
But
That's it.
anyway, so we'll see if I get to go or not. I don't know. We'll see if things calm down a little bit, especially in that area.
Hopefully.
But
I think I wouldn't expect it to last much longer.
I hope you're right. Um, but on some other news, let's review The Wizard of Oz.
Alrighty, let's get into it.
What do you rate it?
Do you you don't I don't think that this rating you can't give a quintessential film like this a rating that is like I mean it's the basis of how we did every other movie. It was it gave us run times. Like this is how long a movie should last. Uh this is how the plot should unfold, and this is just early filmography that blew up from here and took off. It was I don't I can't think of anything that did this. I mean, five,
Yeah. And
five
you know,
out of four.
yeah, I agree. I mean, even though it was kind of like, obviously, if you look at it today, you wouldn't rate it as much, but because if the time it was filmed and the effects like that they actually had, and didn't the witch or somebody, the original witch or whatever, die in the film when with the poison or like the smoke, something with the smoke? Didn't someone die because they were
No,
doing like real like effects or whatever?
no, not that I've seen. I've been so I right now, it's really cool. Instead of using the IMDb to like look up the stuff, um, Amazon Prime gives you the it gives you the ability to look up little trivias that come along with it on the side,
Oh,
and
okay.
and this one has so many with it just because I mean
It's
what
Wizard
the
of
movie
Oz.
is. Right, and as far as I've seen, nobody died. The lady who played the witch, she had other movies after. Let me see the cast.
And you got bit by a mosquito today. It was like a war zone. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, she played in many movies after this. She was the I don't know what the names of the I mean, I've never seen these movies, but she played in Hat, Coat and Glove. She played in 13 Ghosts, and that was in 1960, and she played in Brewster McCloud in 1970. She's
I s-
only 5 foot tall. Hmm,
oh wow.
that's
Taller than
crazy.
me. Hi Cheyenne. Thanks for coming in.
Hey, Cheyenne, thank you for joining us.
For the Wizard of
Um,
Oz.
yeah, so um, looking back on this movie, do you remember the first time you saw it, or at least the first time that you can remember watching it?
I was a really young kid. I don't really remember. I mean, I remember watching it. I remember being afraid of the monkeys, but yeah.
Okay, so I'm certain that I saw it many times before, but the time that I remember watching it for the first time was at my grandmother's house visiting my dad. I was outside barefoot and I got stung by a fire ant in between my toe, and I was just I was a little kid, and it hurt really bad to me. And my dad just put this movie on for me, put some ice on my foot, and I sat there and watched this movie. That was the first time that I remember watching it, and I must have been, I don't know, uh, 4, 5. I mean, I can't remember. I just know that I was really young.
Paprika says, I saw a video where they were saying that the makeup had lead in it and it was poisonous for a few of the cast members. Oh, wow.
So they had lead poisoning.
Isn't the Visit of Oz? Is that what one of your kids says?
Cheyenne called it the Visit of Boz.
Ken
Yeah,
says, given the time produced effects and storyline, this has to be one of the most quint- quintessential movies to set the pace for all future productions. Yep, just like
that
Blake was saying.
that's exactly my point, right?
Yep.
They laid the foundation for, your character development, for your uh, antagonist, your protagonist, rise and fall, conflict setting, solution. resolution, happy ending. That's just Americana film. That's how it goes.
Yeah,
And
and the
go ahead.
fact that like they were able to take the people in her life because she was dreaming and put them in there, and you can see that, or like her imagination, it was like her close people was her friends, the Lion, the Tin Man, and the
Hmm.
Scarecrow.
Right, right. And this so what was crazy about this movie? Uh, it was like I believe Gone with the Wind had already come out, right?
I don't know.
We had watched that and we had already reviewed it. I can't
Yeah.
remember, but I'm pretty sure that that had already come out before this. That was the first color film, if I'm not mistaken. And this one was just knocking on the door right behind it. Uh, I mean, this is so old. You got to think, this 1938 is that's when this movie came out. That is the same year that Hitler invaded Poland. Okay, I mean, we're talking pre-American entrance into World War II. It's, I mean, how far are we now? We're in another 13 years. This movie will be 100 years old.
Yeah,
So,
that's crazy.
and to think about it like that, this movie resonates so well. Uh, it, how do I explain it? Like my niece and nephew have already seen this movie. This movie it it's in every household almost. It's on TV all the time. You can find this movie at somebody's house in some old cassette VHS tape, and I appreciate it. I mean, nothing else has held on this long that I can think of from that time.
No.
Nothing.
Yeah, Ken says the old man is four characters in the film. Yeah, the he's the Wizard of Oz, and then he's like the other people when they came to Emerald City, like the blue yeah. And then Paprika said, I just saw one where they said the Tin Man had to be replaced because of the makeup, it had copper in it. Huh.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
you thought you were bugging out, Francesca? um From the time that motion pictures started to this movie was a short period of time between Charlie Chaplin and this. Oh, did not know that.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can. My
Okay.
hold on one second.
Oh, so yeah, it really, I think it really did start changing movie production and the how it's evolved. I mean, even already using some of the computing computer imaging or something, because how did they make the house fly? So that had been some computer imaging, right? I mean, I don't know how else they would have been able to do that graphics. While we're waiting on Blake, uh um while we're waiting on Blake, what was your favorite parts of this movie?
Did that
And
work? Can you hear me
okay.
now?
Yep.
Better? Okay.
Yep.
All right, good. So what was the last thing I said?
Uh,
I don't remember. What did you
oh,
say?
well, I was just asking the chat now, what their favorite part of the movie was, but I was also saying that
We're
it's
probably gonna go past an hour a little bit here because we spent the first 15 just talking about our stuff. Sorry, everybody.
but so I don't know, was the house CGI? Because back then they probably
No, no,
didn't
no,
have
no, no.
CGI.
There's no such thing as CGI at this time.
Well,
Everything was done some sort of way. Most of that stuff, like the Twister Town. Um, okay, so the only location footage in the entire film is the clouds in the opening title. Everything else was shot in a studio. It was shot like like that's how it was done. Uh, I mean, they didn't take the movie and put it at a certain place. It was all done in studio the entire
so how did they do the house flying though?
time. It was probably they sped up the footage and put a miniature house on a string and
Hmm.
spun it or something like that. That would be my guess. Something they used a lot of miniature footage and then brought the camera really close to make it
Um,
seem to give you the illusion uh, that you were looking at a full picture.
oh, yep, Ken says a string. And his favorite part was when they realized he was a fraud. Really, out of that whole entire movie, that's your favorite part of the movie is that when Oz was a fraud.
Oh, I don't know what my favorite part would probably be like the soldiers, like them marching at the towards the end, all of the I just remember running around the house doing that. Oh, I would do that all the time. So I would have to go with that.
I think my favorite part is when the witch was melting and she's like, "I'm melting."
Or maybe like whenever they're actually in Oz and they're getting all tidied up and cleaned up and the horses changing color, which that was also done like they painted the horses with like a fructose dye or something.
Yeah, put it up, put it up. I can fight you with my eyes closed.
Put on my
But yeah, then they go to fight and he's like, "Oh," because he's a
yeah,
coward.
smack the
And
hell
of
out of
course,
him.
one of the most famous lines: "Lions and tigers and bears, oh my!"
Well, we'll get into that. This thing was talking about that, and I wanted to go over a couple of these because some of these are really good.
Yeah, and but yeah, Ken says, but he came back with big moral stories to make everyone valid, just like old people who have big stories and morals. Yeah, that's so true.
Well, I think, and then they established the characters before they were even like they gave them you were given insight before. There's a lot of little subtle things that you didn't realize in the first place.
Yeah,
Wizard of Oz.
yeah. When I was younger, the monkeys scared me.
Really?
The flying monkeys, yeah.
The first time this movie ever came out on VHS was 1980.
Oh wow. But it was
Yeah.
but it was filmed in 1938.
Yeah. 1939. I was mistaken by a
Yeah.
year.
Wow. So wait, it took that long to get it on VHS? Like 50 years, almost 40 years, 41. It's been a long day. I can't do my math right now.
That's sheesh. you either saw it on TV or you saw it like in the theater. It would always it was a it originally the movie was it was much longer, and then they cut it down and cut it down to where it was finally only an hour and a half long.
Yeah, Francesca, my math today. No, it's been too long of a day. Yeah, the monkeys were plastic masks. Showing me, I was still scared. I don't care if they're plastic masks. Kenneth.
Ah, okay, let's do a quick review of the trivia on the or the info on the movie through the IMDb, and then I'd like to go over some that are with the on the Amazon. If you have Amazon Prime, check this out. It's a great way to learn stuff about movies. You just go over and go to the trivia thing, and that's where I get a lot of my movie knowledge from. Judy Garland, rest her soul. I don't know if you know that, but she died at a young age. In this movie, she was only 16 years old playing Dorothy. So, and she died when she was 41. So that was 1961. Yeah, 1961 when she passed away of barbiturate overdose. Um,
Um,
yeah, very sad. Very, very sad.
a lot of
Um,
celebrities die that way. And
yeah.
Ken was watching something about Matthew Perry and how like celebrities just
Oh,
you
gosh,
know
poor Matthew Perry. He battled a lot more, and he was actually doing a lot better, but to get to the point that, I mean, it's just a norm.
yeah. I mean that's and cause he I guess he did an interview once and saying like how like you think you're gonna be so happy having all this money and being a celebrity, but like it
It
doesn't.
just
And
makes
then
it worse.
yeah, and it's like here everybody wants to be rich and famous, but obviously not because
I just want to
I mean
be I want to be financially free, and I want genuine happiness.
me too. That's what I want. Oh yep, Judy Garland sang all of her songs. Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah,
think
Judy sang her song, "The Wicked Witch of the," or not? No, I'm not the witch. The Good Witch. She sang her song. Um, there's a lot of yeah. You guys riddled off a lot of things about this movie. That just shows you how this movie really got to people. That it's just not a lot of it. A lot. How many more movies do you know have myths surrounding them?
yeah, right.
Not many.
Okay, you can do the IMDb now.
Sorry. uh, Many of the shots were trimmed down and filmed or edited out because it was too intense. Mar A lot of the witch scenes were because it seemed too frightening for audiences. Uh, Margaret Hamilton was the lady who played the Wicked Witch. She was ecstatic to learn that she was going to have the part. They said she was wondering who she was going to play. They said the witch. Who else? Yeah, that's funny. Let's see. Yeah, most of the these are sorry, we don't need any of those. These have much better than the ones that are on IMDb usually. Original release date August 25th, 1939. It's crazy. Um, the budget for the movie was 2.7 million.
Well, in 1939, that was probably like 50 million.
Yeah, yeah. Um, oh, now hold on. This is showing me a very different. So there must have been a re-release in 1998. That's what it's showing me. It opening weekend it was so the budget was 2.7 million. Opening weekend it made 5.3 million.
Is this a
And
98 or is that the original?
1998. So they must have done some edits or something, brought up the color, blah blah blah, whatever they did, whatever it was. But I mean, just to show you right there, they just made they quadrupled their money. Gross worldwide 25 million off of a 2.7 million dollar budget for a movie that released 80 years ago. That's
Yeah.
crazy. I mean, hell, that's insane.
Well, 60 years ago, but yeah.
60, sorry.
Technicolor, yeah.
In Technicolor, we'll get into that right here. um the credits say photographed in Technicolor, not color sequences by Technicolor, thus making it seem as if the entire film was made in color. Uh, it is not known if this was deliberately done to enhance the surprise, uh, but it is quite possible that they did that. Posters at the time advertised the film being in Technicolor, but made no mention of sepia tint or black and white. That orangish kind of brownish color that you see at the beginning, that's I don't know if I'm saying that right. Sepia, SEPIA. It's that's what they're talking about.
Well, and I think didn't they somewhere I thought I read that they put Dorothy's dress the color it was because it was black and white at the beginning.
We're gonna get into that jump, that sequence because it does talk about it, and I was wondering how they did that. Um, oh, this one is so. You talk about gotcha journalism. Check this out. Rick Polito of the Marin Independent Journal in Northern California is locally famous for his droll, single sentence summations of televised programs and movies, which the newspaper reports will be broadcast. For this film, he wrote, transported to a surreal landscape, a young girl kills the first person she meets and then teams up with three strangers to kill again.
Actually, that kind of sounds
That
like
works. That's exactly what happens. That's
yeah,
literally, but dude, why you gotta write it like that? Like that's
yeah,
not
because
cool.
it's not like she did it on purpose. She accident. I mean, she didn't. The house killed it. The first one, and the second one, she accidentally threw water on the witch. So it's not like she purposely killed them.
Man,
Cancels the black and white start sets a set of sadness. Color brings a change of heart, tone, and appreciation. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
that's true.
The digitally restored and converted 3D version of this film, which was released in September 2013, according to Publicity for the Picture, the oldest film ever to be converted to 3D.
Wow.
The iconic ruby slippers are now at the Smithsonian's Institution National Museum of American History, and so popular that the carpet in front of them has had to be replaced numerous times due to wear and tear. That
Wow.
is cool.
Is the Smithsonian? Where's that
Yeah,
at?
it's on the mall, the in Washington D.C.
Washington. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Over the Rainbow was ranked as number one by the American Film Institute in 2004 on the 100 greatest songs in American film list.
Hmm.
Number one.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yes, it is.
Oh, this just in. The Dallas Mavericks select Cooper Flag for the first pick in the NBA draft.
Oh my
I knew that
goodness.
was going to happen. Oh wow. Over the Rainbow was nearly cut from the film. MGM said that it made the Kansas sequence too long, as well as being too far over the heads of children for whom it was intended. The studio also thought that it was degrading for Julie Garden to sing in a barnyard. A reprise of the song was cut. Dorothy sang it to remember Kansas while imprisoned in the witch's castle. Garland began to cry along with the crew because the song was so sad. Hmm.
Yeah, Ken says she had a very beautiful voice.
Yeah.
Draft day. Yep, it must be draft day because Blake's watching something else.
No, I'm reading these
I know.
on
I'm
the
kidding.
I'm
I'm
reading
taking.
these off of the TV.
I'm taking it on you.
I just got a notification on my phone is all. I saw it right there. The film received a mention in the Guinness Book of World Records as the film to watch a live action sequel was produced as the longest period of time. Return to Oz, 1985, was released 46 years later. So that was the biggest gap between a second film, 1985. That's insane. Wow. Let's see. The score for the film, the music, all the songs, they had 14 weeks to come up with it. All the songs in the film were written in 14 weeks.
Wow,
Uh, it's pretty
that's pretty.
crazy.
That's
Hmm.
pretty impressive.
Very impressive. A recent study claimed that this is the most watched movie in film history, largely due to the number of television screenings each year, as well as the various video, DVD, Blu-ray, 4K releases, which have enabled children of every and all generations to see it.
Not to mention all the plays, Wicked and all those plays that are on Broadway.
Hmm. Oh yeah, the Wicked is what isn't that what it, yeah, it's called
And
Wicked. Yeah. The tornado was a 35-foot long muslin stocking spun around among miniatures of a Kansas farm and fields in a dusty atmosphere. So that's exactly what they did. They took a small miniature make of all this and took a string and just kind of wove it around in it.
hmm,
It's pretty cool. When the farmhouse is showing the twister swirling, or oh no, no, that doesn't matter. Sorry. These, uh, oh, this is rough to hear about this one. Uh, Judy Garland had to wear a painful corset-style device around her torso so that she would appear younger, and as she was only 16 at the time, playing a role of a pre-adolescent child. So she's playing the role as like to be 12, 13. That's how old her character is. But um, they
almost,
certainly didn't do they casted weird back in the days. If
yeah,
they wanted one, they should have just had a kid that old.
yeah.
But
Almost every thriller with an evil nemesis is based off the playlist. Yep.
for the 50th anniversary in 1989, the House of Winston made a pair of real ruby slippers. They are valued at around $3 million.
Holy cow.
Yeah, that's crazy. The gown that Glinda the Good Witch wears was originally worn by Jeanette MacDonald in the movie San Francisco 3 years earlier.
Okay, tell me this about the witch, the good witch. So everything in her dream, almost everybody in her dream is somebody in her life. Like the evil witch was her neighbor, and then the Tin Man and all them were her uncles or those
Uh-huh.
guys at the beginning. So who was the good witch
And
in
M.
her? See, I told Ken it was Annie M, and he said no, it's not Annie M.
I would think so. Who else would it be?
Well, that's what I was wondering, and Ken's like, no,
I
because
would assume that it's Ann M. Now,
because
we'll leave it up to speculation, as maybe she doesn't have a character and she's just trying to get, because she mentions her, like, she's the only one I believe that she mentions
yeah,
out
she's
of
like, I
all the
need to get.
people while she's in Oz.
Yeah, she keeps saying, I need to find Annie M. Annie M.
Yeah, well, I mean, even I don't think she mentions any of the other people, though, does she?
Oh, Ken says I thought it would be her missing mother because she never talks about her parents and what happened to her parents.
Yeah, you gotta wonder what happened to her parents. Maybe it was a depression or something.
Well, no, there was no cars then, was there?
Yeah, there were
No,
cars then,
because they were on bikes. Or the
but
which
there were cars then. It's just that
oh,
not everybody could afford them.
her aunt raised her, and mom was nowhere around. Yeah.
If they had
So,
airplanes, they had damn shit. This is post World War One.
oh, yeah, that's true. Okay, so there was cars. So, well, anyway, we don't know how the parents died or why
Never
the parents
says,
weren't
never
around,
states.
where
It,
the
it never
parents were.
says anything. Yeah.
Hmm.
Uh, the color of the yellow brick road first showed up as green in early Technicolor tests. It was adjusted so that it would read properly as yellow in the early three-strip Technicolor process, which in 1938-39 was still in its experimental stage.
Hmm.
So they went ahead doing stuff like without being for sure. Oh, the Munchkins, they have their own star on the Walk of Fame in Hollywood. It doesn't credit one single person. It just credits all the Munchkins in the Munchkin Land from the Wizard of Oz, and they all have their own star. So that's pretty cool.
Paprika, your Shirley Temple was in the running for what?
I was just about to read that one. That's so funny. Although Judy Garland was always the favorite to play Dorothy, there are many other actresses also considered to play her. One story is that MGM made a deal to borrow Shirley Temple from 20th Century Fox for the role, and in exchange, Clark Gable and Jean Harlow would be loaned to Fox for In Old Chicago. The deal, however, was voided by Harlow's untimely death. This story is a, a, a I don't know what that means. Apocryphal, apocryphal. I don't know what that means. This story is apocryphal as Harlow died on June 7th, 1937, and MGM did not purchase the rights to Oz until February 18th, 1938. Oh, so
Hmm.
that means that it was just a legend. That's not true, supposedly. Right?
Hmm.
That's what I'm getting. Anyway, um furthermore, Shirley Temple's voice talents were deemed by producers to be inadequate for the scope of the role. Deanna Durbin, the operatic rival to Garland, was also a consideration, as was Bonita Granville.
Hmm.
So Judy Garland got it because she could sing.
Ken says, so was the beautiful witch her idea of what her mother looks like? All great movies leave speculation to the story behind the story. Yep, that's true.
Yeah. Oh, this is a good one. According to the lead Munchkin, the little people on the set were paid $50 per week for a 6-day work week, while Toto received $125 per week.
What?
And yeah, and this is a funny thing. The dog Toto is actually a girl named Terry. The dog's name was Terry, and it was a girl.
Hmm.
Yeah, or it's pretty.
I
That's
don't
pretty
think
crazy.
Toto. I don't think Toto deserved more than the Munchkins.
Oh, here's that one I said. Although it's been long believed that Lorraine Bridges dubbed Billy Burke's singing voice in this film, she actually did not. Miss Burke did her own singing as Glinda the Good Witch of the North. She
Oh
did all
wow.
that. Yeah. Um, let's see. Going through these. There's plenty other ones. I'm skipping through quite a few. Uh, but I'm just going through the big ones. Here's one that I wanted to read y'all. The movie line, "I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog too," was voted as the number 99 movie quote by the American Film Institute out of 100. Toto, "I've got a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore," was number 4, and "There's No Place Like Home" was number 23. So they
Yeah.
they had 3 in the top 100. And
Yeah.
those 3, I mean, those are,
Yeah.
you say those all the time.
Oh my gosh, we do. Like, I'm gonna get you, my pretty, and
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, "Follow the Yellow Brick Road." I say that all
yeah,
the time.
yeah,
"We're off to see
yeah.
the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz." I
No,
sing that whenever I leave the house or something. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Or just
Isn't it funny
something
how
like
like
that.
a movie you can get so many quotes and you just say it all the time?
Oh, I say them
Yeah.
all the time. I mean, I can't shut the hell up.
That doesn't surprise me, Blake.
Multiple styles of ruby slippers were tested by the MGM wardrobe department before it settled with the low schoolgirl style pumps with bows. Um, Thomas speculates that there were 7 pairs, and the whereabouts of of 5 are known. Each has an estimated value of 1.5 million, making them the most expensive Hollywood memorabilia. They have been dubbed by some as the holy grail of all Hollywood nostalgia. One pair was sold to Hollywood memorabilia collector David Elkaby for $666,000 in a May 2000 auction. The pair in the Smithsonian's are mismatched.
Oh wow.
Oh, how about that?
Hmm.
Wow. A reference to something in the book not included in the script can be seen in the movie. It is the kiss Glinda gives Dorothy on the forehead that protects her from the Wicked Witch, as none dare harm someone who bears the kiss of the Good Witch. I didn't know the book said that. How about that?
Yeah. Your favorite. Cut it. Oh, from Full House. Turns out everyone is after the slippers. Yes.
Yeah. Uh, let's. I want to do some more general trivia. There's plenty of goofs in here. They're also reading off the things that they got wrong or they didn't care about in the movie. But uh, in 2007, in 2007, the American Film Institute ranked the film as the number 10 greatest movie of all time. And I'm cool with that. I can respect that. I honestly
Yeah.
can. You could call this a top 10 for sure.
Yeah, I remember now, Francesca. Cut it out. Yeah, now I remember from
Yeah.
Full House. Yeah.
Okay. The film proved popular with audiences. MGM considered reuniting the original cast for a sequel, Plans never got past the development stage, however, when Judy Garland became a major star, having great success in subsequent movies. Also, Margaret Hamilton expressed hesitation at reprising her role, feeling that the character of the Wicked Witch was already too scary for children. Further, extreme budget overruns and production delays MGM encountered making the original film deterred the studio from moving forward with an official sequel.
Oh wow.
So we almost had one.
Hmm. Too bad.
Oh, this is cool. The paint that was finally used on the bricks for the yellow brick road was standard industrial yellow paint bought from a hardware store several blocks away from the studio. That is so cool. I didn't know that. The scarecrow face makeup that Ray Bolger wore consisted in part of a rubber prosthetic with a woven pattern to suggest burlap cloth. By the time the film was finished, the prosthetic had left a pattern of lines on his face that took more than a year to vanish.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy. The Scarecrow was originally cast as the Tin Man, which
Hmm.
is what most people didn't know. There, and it goes into detail. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go that much into detail.
This was a good movie.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm happy to go through all this stuff with you guys.
So while he's doing that, we need to pick for next week. What do you think for next week?
Well, huh. It's a good
Can,
question.
can we top this movie?
I mean, we really knocked it out of the park here, didn't we?
Yeah. Let's see. Well, it's fourth. It's going to be around the 4th of July. So, is some type of Independence Day movie, maybe?
How about Independence Day?
Eh, how about
That's
Independence
already
Day, everyone?
watchable.
Or
Fighting
um,
the aliens, man. Come on, Independence Day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm
any
cool
other
with that.
any other suggestions, or is Independence Day
Or
good?
okay, let's do that one. Or Olympus Has Fallen. That's a really good movie. I like Olympus Has Fallen.
That is a good movie.
Uh, it's one movie that I can honestly say they should have never made sequels for, but they did anyway.
Yeah.
Uh,
Another 4th of July movie is out there. I think there's got to be tons of comedy ones with 4th of July. Um, what does everyone think?
um, Independence Day is good. Saving Private Ryan. We don't do many. We don't do many. You know. Or how about National Treasure? That talks about. I mean, hell, we got to make a list of movies that we want to review because I'll forget and we'll never get to them.
Well, I don't think National Treasure is 4th of July, is it?
Uh,
Oh, Ken says Independence Day, so
I'm cool with that, honestly.
nobody else is chiming in. So, and Blake says Independence Day. Ken says Independence Day. That's with Will Smith, right?
Yeah, yes, no, yes.
Okay. And I don't think we've done a Will Smith movie yet. So,
Not that I can think of.
so yeah, it might be okay, so Independence Day it is.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think I'll leave the rest of these up to you guys to go and check out. There's a million more. We'll sit here for another 20 minutes before we're finally done with the thing. So I'm not gonna do that to y'all. But there's some really cool stuff that talks about the lion. The lion's costume was made out of a real lion skin. Uh, that's one crazy thing. There's the thing was 90 pounds. I mean, there's so many crazy other things about this film that they wanted to try and get right. So check them out. They're really cool. Um, this movie gets the best of me. What's one piece of memorabilia that you'd want from this?
Probably the slippers.
The slippers? Hmm. I
Probably.
think I would probably want. Yeah, the slippers. They cost a lot of money.
and they're almost the most iconic, I think,
Oh
prop.
yeah, for sure. Man, just for that's for wealthy reasons only, not for individual reasons.
I mean, I don't care about the price. I think I like them the most because that's like the most iconic. Like everything's about the slippers, really. Like the witch wants the slippers, and the other witch had the slippers, and everybody wants the slippers. So
Yeah,
I think that's why I'd want it.
that would probably be my piece of memorabilia that I would want as well. I can't think of anything else I would want. Is there anything else I'm missing? Um, I feel like I'm forgetting something that we were supposed to do.
Well, the riddle of the day.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Well, we got that.
why can't a pirate ever finish the alphabet?
Because he gets stuck on R.
That's what Ken said, but no, not this one. But that's a good one.
I don't know that one. Somebody else is gonna have to guess it.
Because he always gets lost at sea.
Oh my gosh. Turn it
Uh,
off.
All right. Any last words for the chat?
Thank you guys for checking in with us. Sponsor us, Dr. Pepper. We still
Yep.
need that. We're
Hashtag Dr.
waiting on
Pepper.
you. At least shout us out. Watch an episode. Damn it. I've been wearing this hat for too many weeks now for y'all not to say nothing to me.
Me too.
My phone is dry. I'm waiting, looking like, hey, is Dr. Pepper called me yet? Nothing. Like, get on the ball.
You're,
So,
uh,
holler at me, Dr. Pepper. Stop bull essing. And we will see you next week for Independence Day. I'm excited for that one. That's another good movie. So let's knock it out of the park, guys. Thank you so much for coming another week.
yes, and thank you for staying interactive. It really makes it very helpful for us. And remember, you're all beautiful inside and out. Don't let anyone make you think differently. And the quote for tonight comes from Alan Bloom. Education is the movement from darkness to light. Nice quote. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
See ya. Cheers.